Check this out. I know you have always dreamed of performing in Carnegie Hall, so I think this 2023 to 2024 season at Sound Espressivo will be perfect for you. As a platform, we host live online auditions so you can share your music with the entire world. Then we send you to incredible in-person venues like Carnegie Hall so you can perform solo, as a duo, as an ensemble, and with orchestra. This year we have a total of 4 gala events at Carnegie Hall, as well as 4 different opportunities to perform with orchestras in the US, in the Czech Republic, and even in Egypt. We want to help you fulfill your musical dreams. Go to soundespressivocompetition.com to check out our season and to apply.
Welcome to Virtual Concert Hall's live music channel. I'm James Welch and your host for today's show. We are connecting musicians and audiences in real-time performances and music news from around the globe. Today's program. Why audition? Performing at Carnegie Hall is not necessarily the answer to that question. You don't audition just because you want to perform at Carnegie Hall. Maybe you do, but maybe you don't. It can be the reason for many people. Getting to perform at Carnegie is just one of the huge perks that you can receive by auditioning for us or other competitions. We actually have more than 15 events on our season this year. But one of the things we don't advertise much or rarely touch upon is the benefits to auditioning for anything, but also for us. Early in my music career as a pianist, I was always preparing for an audition of some sort, whether it be locally or internationally. A few things that I learned throughout the whole process are, 1, you have to practice regularly, every day. No, seriously, your teachers are telling you the truth. Every day, you have to practice, even if it's just a little bit, but you have to practice a lot regularly. Can't emphasize that enough. Number 2, you have to have money for applications and travel, which means you have to have a lot of great support, or you have to work a lot, or both. And number 3, you need to be working a job that allows you the flexibility to come and go. Number 4, if you want to stay active as a performer and even as a teacher, you need to have a good balance of work and audition and performance in your life. You have to have that well-rounded active portion to your lifestyle. Before we dive into this a little bit deeper, I'd like to remind our viewers that we are streaming on all social media platforms simultaneously. If you're watching, feel free to leave a comment or a question. We're on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, here we go, LinkedIn even, and Twitch. And you can leave comments and questions in the chat, and one of our tech wizards on this broadcast will put them up on the screen. So if you have a question, we can answer it. If you want to just say hello, say hello. We'll say hello back, and we'll put those up on the screen a little bit later. So get typing, ask those questions, because we got a lot of fun things coming up here. Back to auditioning. Those are all facts that I have passed on to my students over the years. Along with that are some words from my own teachers and colleagues, which go something like, sometimes you just need to start taking auditions just to practice auditioning. When you're new to auditions, you can be prepared to the point where nerves don't get the best of you in a performance. Until they do. But not necessarily because you're unprepared as a musician. Your teachers and your friends and yourself, you'll be your worst enemy as far as your own preparation goes. And you could be so prepared to where you don't get nervous anymore, and yet you'll still get nervous at an audition if you're not used to it. And most of it is an environmental thing, but here are a couple other reasons. Maybe you have to travel and your plane got delayed, and that throws off your schedule. That just throws off the mindset a little bit. Maybe you're switching time zones and you're not used to that, or climates. And the plane lands and you have allergies or something that you could still function with, but maybe not in the same way. Maybe you showed up to the audition and they changed the schedule. Okay, that's happened. Maybe you showed up and the room was super cold or super hot. I mean, that's happened too. Full piece suit and it's like 95 degrees in that room. That was a fun one. I won't say where that was. Maybe the desk clerk was mean when you were checking in, or security was like, "What are you doing here?" All those things can just rattle you if you're not used to this. And then there's also a few times where I've experienced the psychological gossipy people that try to rattle you before you go in, and there's not everybody's like that, and not every place is like that, but it does happen, and it's like you can't go into an audition with a level head when all of that is happening, unless you're used to doing auditions and you've learned to just kind of keep that mindset and be flexible. And we could give you all the advice for that from our own experiences and say everything that we can think of to help you with that. But the real truth to it is that you're not going to get used to it until you've started doing some more auditions. So what have we done here at Virtual Concert Halls that helps remedy most of that? Well, number one, no travel costs. Yes, you need to have a good computer, mic, camera, and internet connection, and that costs money. But you likely need all of that anyway, because it's 2023. We need to have good technology, and it's a great investment. So maybe you have to update that stuff, but then you have it. If you buy a plane ticket, the trip is over once you arrive. You don't have that ticket to just keep using. So you save that money there. By not traveling, you avoid plane tickets, hotels, Airbnbs, and missing weeks worth of work. I've traveled to Europe. I missed work for a week, and at the time that I was doing that, luckily I had a job that was still paying me. But I've had to travel sometimes where I didn't get paid for something, and it's a lot of planning. It's a big expense. Number two, we have online auditions, so you audition from the comfort of your own home or studio. Control your climate. If you play piano or another big instrument, you can audition with that instrument. You don't have to worry about getting used to some random instrument. That's another factor, at least for pianists, getting used to the piano. And then just trying to figure out, how that all goes. What is next here? I have this big list here. You can avoid all the gossip and drama. And that's really just a big thing. And like I said, not everybody is like that. But I have seen it, where they fill moments in people's heads, young people's heads, try to intimidate them. I heard the director is only looking for a blonde. I heard the director is friends with all these people in the room. And they might be making that up, they might not be, and not everyone's like that, but you have to, just be used to the fact that might happen, and to just be like, and just kind of go with it, or be able to walk away and not think about it, but that all comes with experience. I think I've said enough. Not everybody is mean, and not everybody's nuts, but there's always one that can ruin it for you. So anyway, we avoid all of that here, and I think that even if, while trying to avoid that, experiencing it, or at least witnessing it third party, at least once or twice is educational, just so that you can prepare yourself for future auditions. So, how it works. This is our third thing. One thing that most competitions don't allow, including other online competitions, is the opportunity to interact with the judges in real time. Our judges are online with you during the audition. And our auditions are always broadcast live over the internet. So you can ask the judges questions after they give you the performance evaluation and have a little conversation and have it live as your own little spotlight and be broadcast all over the world. So that's just a fun thing. And that way everybody gets something out of it. But that's not even all of it. But, we have a short clip here of just one audition from our recent laureate, Valeria. She's a wonderful soprano, and you get to hear a little of her singing and how she interacts with the judges. And let's show that clip right now if we can.
What a voice, what a command. And I want to also say bravo to your collaborative pianist. What a sensitive support. Okay, Igor, to you.
And I enjoyed very much that you had that command of melody, and phrases are also connected to the lyrics. Tchaikovsky is not an easy thing to sing, obviously. And I mean, none of them are easy, but when it comes to Tchaikovsky, you really need to be
Okay, well, we had a little technical difficulty there, but you can hear that the judge was speaking to her, and the end of the clip did show her asking a few questions and thanking the judges and all that, and we actually have another clip that we're going to show in a little while that does show that too, so you haven't missed anything, but you can see how there was crystal clear sound and picture, and even with that, there come some tech difficulties, as you just experienced, and that we're going to show you an example of a live tech difficulty in a little bit. But but you know, we wouldn't have crystal clear sound if we didn't have the expertise of our tech wizards that work behind the scenes, all by remote from different parts of the world, and they work to offer each musician a tech session before their audition to make sure everything is running perfectly and how everything's going to go and how to know when it's time to start performing. And you know, you would think that it's just as easy as turning on your microphone and camera, but it's not. Like, there's volume issues, there's angles, sometimes there's lighting, and our tech wizards can see all that and help recommend, you know, all the adjustments to be made, you know, work within your computer to make sure everything is turned on properly, that a notification or a phone call isn't going to destroy your audition, you know, all that stuff. And then there's still some issues that happen that we deal with as they come, but we don't worry and stress about them much. We get through them, and we give everybody the best opportunity they could get. So this service is part of our audition fee package, and it's for the sole purpose of eliminating surprises. We have a short clip highlighting both Valeria and Francesca's sessions with our tech wizards, because they auditioned in the same studio with the same equipment together and back to back, but you'll see how they had to work differently to set up the tech. And let's show that clip now if we have it up.
Going to be doing sound checks for your setup. I'm going to go through just a couple of general things that we're going to ask everybody to do anyways. So if you guys could follow along, we have like, the people here who are in the backstage area. Backstage area is like a separate room. And then before you get to this backstage, you will go into a green room, which is separate, where we're going to sound check you kind of last minute, double checking that all your settings are the same. And then we will bring you to the backstage where you'll hear the performers and you'll be kind of fed into the stage. Yeah, we want to give people leniency, and we want to give people room, because with virtual setups, tech can fail, things can go wrong, and we have the green rooms we can send you back into if something does go wrong, to make sure that everything runs smoothly, so that when you do perform, you have the best audio, you don't have connection issues, you don't lose half of your performance and things like that. We're here to make sure to guarantee that for you.
If your performance does fail, if your tech does fail, we will have another date set up for you to play another date, or a bit later when we tech check you again.
Hi, sorry, it's Francesca and Valeria.
Hello.
It's two of us. Hi.
Hello.
2 and 1 here.
Okay, do you have an external mic?
Wow. Well, I think that it's kind of funny in some ways that we're having tech issues when we're trying to tell you about how we work through the tech issues. So I think we're gonna try again to show that one, because that's a very important clip, and you can see how the tech gets set up. And sometimes we're just at the mercy of our own internet, and it's really sometimes the internet just doesn't want to cooperate from one day or the next, and then some days it does. So I think that we can show this clip again here if we have it within our queue here. I'm not seeing it. But Ante, if you're back there, I just added this, and maybe we could try it from my computer now. The same clip again with the audition. It's the Francesca Valeria tech check, and maybe that didn't go through. Oh yeah, here it is. I'm gonna put it up here.
Everybody, we're going to be doing sound checks for your setup. I'm going to go through just a couple of general things that we're going to ask everybody to do anyways. So if you guys could follow along, we have like, the people here who are in the backstage area. Backstage area is like a separate room. And then before you get to this backstage, you will go into a green room, which is separate, where we're going to sound check you kind of last minute, double checking that all your settings are the same. And then we will bring you to the backstage where you'll hear the performers and you'll be kind of fed into the stage. Yeah, we want to give people leniency and we want to give people room because with virtual setups, tech can fail, things can go wrong. And we have the green rooms we can send you back into if something does go wrong to make sure that everything runs smoothly so that when you do perform, you have the best audio, you don't have connection issues, you don't lose half of your performance and things like that.
Yeah,
We're
so
here to make sure to guarantee that for you.
If your performance does fail, if your tech does fail, we will have another date set up for you to play another date or a bit later when we tech check you again.
Hi, sorry, it's Francesca and Valeria.
Hello.
It's two of us. Hi.
Hello.
2 and 1 here.
Okay, do you have an external mic?
Yes. Yeah.
Can you hit it? Yeah. Okay, nice. What instruments?
Voice. But we're different voice types though. So.
Okay, but you are both performing like in different.
Voice and piano.
Oh, voice and piano.
We will.
You can play piano. What's the problem?
No, I can't. It's me.
Let's get some singing.
Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Does the microphone have a gain knob?
Yeah,
How high is it now?
it's like almost, I would say 10 to, like, because it's a round one.
10 o'clock? Okay. It looks pretty like far to the right?
Yes.
Let's take it down.
Down?
Like 20%.
Okay. You want to try now? That's down.
But that's the loudest. I mean.
That's the loudest. Perfect.
Or almost, I guess.
No. Can I hear you sing?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the loudest note.
I would say similar settings, if not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because of that loud note, I mean, do you have space to put it a bit further back? But not too much.
One more time?
Yeah.
Still out?
I mean, it's not a noticeable difference. Let's keep it where it is now. It's definitely not too loud for the mic.
Okay.
And it's not too soft. No worries about that. We'll do another check with the piano right before the performance.
Okay, so we were able to show the tech check where they set up both people in the same room with the same tech. And you know, sometimes you're just at the mercy of your internet, or sometimes your computer just likes to do things. So but anyway, you saw they're all set up. There's going to be no problems, right? That's not always the case, as you could see in this broadcast. But problems can still arise, as it did in Francesca's audition. And just watch this clip to see how we went about remedying it. And actually, that'll be a perfect replica of what we just did a few minutes ago. So here, let's see the clip.
Inviting on stage the next performer, Francesca Bartolo, mezzo-soprano from the United Kingdom, will be performing an aria by Rossini. So the stage is all yours, and I understand there's a little bit of time maybe you need to switch some settings. Give us a thumbs up so our show director knows that you're ready. Okay, looks like you're ready. Thank you very much. Welcome to stage.
Cruda sorte amortiranno, questo il premio di miei affetti. Non vi orror, terror, mi affanno, pari a quel ch'io
I'm sorry, Francesca. We need to redo your settings. So sorry to interrupt. We would like to get a feedback from our tech support team. Yeah, you need to go to green room to get your settings changed. Okay, please do so. We will go to the next performer, who I believe is ready here, and we'll come back to you and put you on stage once your settings are appropriate for your performance. Thank you very much. Apologize for interrupting, but we really truly want to bring your voice and performance in its full glory. Okay, we'll be inviting on stage a guitarist from Austria. Thank you, and best of luck for your future. I believe Francesca Bortola, mezzo-soprano from the United Kingdom, is ready to perform. The tech and everything is ready. She will...
Cruda sorte amortiranno, questo il premio di miei affetti. Non vi orror, terror, ne affanno, pari a quel ch'io provo in me. Tutti la chiedono, tutti la bramano, tutti la chiedono, tutti la bramano. Da voga femmina, felicità, sì, 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 sì. Da voga femmina, felicità, sì. Da voga femmina, felicità. Da voga femmina, felicità, felicità.
Standing ovation, bravo! What an amazing performance and gorgeous voice. And again, you have such a fabulous pianist. I mean, it's a dream pianist you got there. Okay, Igor, to you.
Oh well, yeah. I think it was worth it to restart. I think the mics and all that were not really giving you the full credit of the voice. I can see. It was really interesting because last time I remember this area, there was more straightforward performances and there was not so much ornamentations. I think it's one of those the editions that you're using. I don't know if you're using the original, probably not. And I must say, for your mezzo soprano voice, your ending was pretty dramatic soprano. It was pretty high. I know it's not easy, so it was very impressive. One thing that I noticed, and I'm sure you know this, and you're trying to make it enhance this part, is the end of the phrases. That sometimes the words, like sogno, it's like it cuts a little bit shorter, okay. But speed doesn't really. It's not very fast. I mean, I've heard this piece a little bit more faster sometimes, especially in the middle, that part, but. Speed is fine. The speed you are singing it in is okay as long as the phrases are kind of connecting together. And this is where I believe you could have connect them a little bit more, like tight, together.
Do you have any questions?
Thank you for having us, and thank you for your feedback. I will definitely take it on board and put it on my process to always improve. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for joining our stage and our auditions, and all the best luck to you for the future.
So, something happened to the tech when changing over between Valeria and Francesca. Sometimes nobody really ever knows exactly what happens with technology sometimes. It just has that way of playing evil tricks on us. And the computer obviously resetted something. And so what we did, Anna stopped Francesca and sent her back to our digital online green room to meet with one of the tech wizards to just recheck and make sure everything was set. We went on to the next auditionee. He played, and then we brought Francesca back, and you got to see exactly how that was all done. And yeah, she gave an award-winning audition there, and there she is up on stage at Carnegie Hall, just gracing the stage with her wonderful presence and beautiful singing. And so, bravo, Francesca. And I should mention Valeria also, we don't have her picture here, but Valeria also performed just beautiful performances, as well as many others. So, audition with us. Get this experience with us. Get performance evaluations from expert musicians. Ask questions. Improve your skills. Be featured on our broadcasts. Audition from your own on your own home turf, and save a lot of money on travels. Spend the money traveling to the actual performance or the gala event. Those are many of our perks. Not all, but many. So perform with us at Carnegie Hall. Our deadline has been extended to October 10th, and here's how you can audition here. And we have, if you go to our website, we have progressivemusicians.com, and we also have Sound Espressivo, soundespressivocompetition.com. We're co-sponsors. On Progressive Musicians, go up to the top here, Carnegie Auditions, and we have two options: perform at Carnegie Hall and perform a concerto at Carnegie Hall. Both are extended to October 10th. So we're just going to go to the regular one right now. But you'll see here, we have this, and if you're still interested in concerto, we have this link here. Composers, you can apply and have your works premiered here, on our recital, or with the New York Chamber Players Orchestra. And we have other opportunities here. We have like 15 different events. Maybe 18 now, and still counting. We're still adding a few others to the season, but you can see here all of our general information. We have 2 galas for solos, November 21st and April 1st. And that's all you have to do is apply right here and send a video of your best musical representation. It doesn't have to be what you want to play for the gala. So you send your video, our judges will look it over, and then we bring in people for live virtual auditions, and that was the whole process I was showing you earlier through our clips here. But at the end of the month here, end of October, we'll have live auditions. For those auditions, you want to come in playing the piece that you would play if you were selected for the gala. You get to the tech check, you get to talk with the judges, and you get to be a star on all of our platforms. And all of our videos are shareable, so you really get to be a star on your own platforms as well. Perk of being selected: you get to be interviewed by Steve Robinson. So let's jump out of this website here, and I believe we have a card that shows everything about what you get here. Yeah, here it is. So look at all that. There's memorabilia. You get to perform on the Carnegie Hall stage. And yes, if that's Marcella, one of our fabulous laureate pianists. She gave a great performance last year and with the New York Chamber Players. And everything is recorded. You get a video of your performance that you can have forever. There's the program booklet here and posters that we make online, and there's an example of that. So yes, and here's the interview with Steve Robinson. Steve is an amazing international radio host. He's been doing classical music programs for over 50 years worldwide. He's just a great guy and wonderful person, and you get that. You get certificates of recognition with your picture on it. Your teacher gets a certificate of recognition as well, because private teachers never get enough recognition. We have the medal, there's a front and back, with your name on it, and for participating. And and then these spotlights. We also use these programs to show your whole journey, through the audition and the interview with Steve, and all of that comes together here in the performance package. And not to mention, yes, the performance at Carnegie Hall itself. So we can't forget that. So a couple things that we could show you really quickly about what you get after being selected for the gala. A quick little interview snippet that we have with one of our countertenor laureates, Andrew. He's interviewing with Steve Robinson, and let's show just a little bit of that clip right now.
Welcome to Virtual Concert Hall. It's a pleasure to have you here. Could you tell us a bit about the piece you'll be performing next week?
I'll be performing Nel Profondo Cieco Mondo by Antonio Vivaldi from his opera Orlando Furioso.
And you are a countertenor.
Yes, I am.
And I'm wondering if you could tell our listeners and our viewers a bit about the technique that a countertenor employs. My understanding is that, or let me ask you a question, is it a permanent falsetto, or how does that actually work?
Well, it depends. I think there are two types, in my opinion. Some people use falsetto, and some people don't. So I don't use falsetto. It's just I have, I think, an extended natural top note, which helps me, rather than using a falsetto.
Well, that's very interesting, because as I hear your voice, your speaking voice, it's quite low. You have quite a natural low voice.
Mm-hmm.
So you're blessed with this extraordinary range then. Now you've performed, you're a young man. I won't ask you how old you are, but you strike me as quite young. But at the same time, you've played all over the world. As I'm reading your bio, Kenya, you're originally from Nigeria, Switzerland, the Czech Republic, and Poland. And I see you've also spent quite a bit of time in Chicago. So you are a world traveler. Your countertenor virtuosity has taken you all over the world.
I can say that.
Yeah.
I can say that.
Yeah. And what are some of the roles that you've performed?
The first one was the Sorceress in Dido and Ananias by Purcell. Then I did two, I would say, partial roles in Cavalli's Erismena and Hercule.
Well, I'm very eager to hear your performance. I wish you the best of luck, and I want to thank you for coming by the studio.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Good luck.
Thank you.
So that's just one little snippet of the interview. Most of them were about 5 to 10 minutes, and we combine them with your whole journey in a spotlight, and we show them, and you can share them everywhere as well. Now, that's something everybody gets. There's two other little things that every concerto musician gets. The first one is an online consult with the maestro Giacomo Franchi from the New York Chamber Players. Prior to coming to New York, to save time, he goes online with every concerto musician and talks through tempo and cadenza and any cuts or any little tricks that he just needs to prepare that you would normally do at a first rehearsal, or talk about over coffee 2 minutes before. He takes the time to personally meet with all of you like this online before your travels. And I'm rambling now, so let's just show the clip of that. We have, yeah.
Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Maestro.
Good morning. Where
Morning.
are you?
New York.
New York. You are here. Okay.
Yes.
New York where?
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn. So we are neighbors. I'm downtown New York. Okay.
Oh, nice.
Good. Okay. So you do it a bit slower. Ta sol do re fa sol do re sol fa mi re do di do. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you keep this tempo, the articulation will become clearer.
Yeah, true.
But
I agree.
if you do it faster, then
yes,
you
true.
tend to slip it more like.
I agree. True.
Yeah, it should be exciting. Okay.
So I should probably say I was monitoring that session that day, and Andrew was at work on his break in like a broom closet or something. But I mean, that's just the advantage to another advantage to remote learning and remote auditioning and even just remote consults is you can do them just about anywhere. But you're probably wondering why he was singing so quietly, and I think that was one of the reasons he didn't want to disturb his coworkers. But now we have a clip of one of the 2 rehearsals that you get with the New York Chamber Players in New York. We meet a few days before the gala, and we have a feast of rehearsals, and literally a feast, because we have snacks there too. But let's show this clip of Andrew rehearsing with the New York Chamber Players. Okay, well, that was fun. And yeah, wow. So, I mean, of all days to be talking about tech and tech issues, we have had probably the most tech issues that we've seen on one broadcast in a while. But we have our tech wizards here that have just been great. So it's really a fun thing. I guess I can let you behind the scenes a little bit since we're taking the gloves off. Our main tech, Ante, actually got kicked off of the internet during this broadcast and found his way back somehow and still kept everything running smoothly. I don't know how he did it, but Ante, bravo to you. And we also have Anna behind the scenes who is helping as well. And, you know, it takes a village sometimes here, but we make it work. And we don't stress, and we just keep something running, and we have a great time, and then we have great stories to tell you for future broadcasts. So I'd like to just remind everybody that our deadline is extended to October 10th. And yes, we are streaming on all the platforms, so you can be a star with us, you can have tech issues with us, and you can have great performances with us, and you could come to Carnegie Hall with us, and you have your spotlight here on all these social media platforms. And yeah, we just have a great time here. So yes, October 10th is the extended deadline, and we have a whole slew of companies and individuals that support us throughout these broadcasts and through these auditions and events, and there's just too many of them to name, but I mean, it's just a lot, and we are blessed, and there are benefits that come with the auditions for the performers from these companies as well, and we'll have to talk about those, I think, tomorrow. We're talking about awards and stuff, so stay tuned for that. And yes, I would just like to recognize again the crew. We have a whole team of people, and yeah, today Ante was our wizard and kept everything running, and Anna as well. And we're all in our own homes in separate cities of the world here. Yeah, I'm in Buffalo, New York. Ante's in Croatia. Anna's in DC, and on any given day, someone might be in New York or Chicago or wherever, and we're doing this all by remote because the technology just allows us to do that. And it's 2023, and we just have awesome platforms and people who are all musicians. I should emphasize that. And mostly all pianists. So anyway, thank you, team. We are live every day at noon with new programs that portray artists, past participants, teachers, and we present new and unique topics in the field of music and education. I'm James Welch, owner of Progressive Musicians, and your host for today's show. Before we sign off, we're going to leave you with one more fun clip about auditioning at Carnegie Hall, and then we will see you tomorrow. So let's show that clip, and everybody have a great day. Bye-bye.
Hey, check this out. I know you have always dreamed of performing in Carnegie Hall, so I think this 2023 to 2024 season at Sound Espressivo will be perfect for you. As a platform, we host live online auditions so you can share your music with the entire world. Then we send you to incredible in-person venues like Carnegie Hall so you can perform solo, as a duo, as an ensemble, and with orchestra. This year we have a total of 4 gala events at Carnegie Hall, as well as 4 different opportunities to perform with orchestras in the US, in the Czech Republic, and even in Egypt. We want to help you fulfill your musical dreams. Go to soundespressivocompetition.com to check out our season and to apply.